Zoe, can you give the plot of Gearbreakers?
Gearbreakers is about a nation that's controlling their underlings, the Badlands, with 200-foot mecha deities, and there are renegades out in the Badlands desert called Gearbreakers, and they're tasked with taking down these mechas from the inside out. So they infiltrate and they mess around and they'll topple the deity. And what happens is that Eris, who's a cold-hearted Gearbreaker, cold-hearted soldier, she gets captured by this evil nation called Godolia, and she meets Sona Steelcrest, who's one of the mecha pilots, and they find that they have similar loyalties.
So Sonia is part cyborg. You are part Korean, part of two cultures. How much of her character comes from you and your identity?
There's some scattered references of Korean culture in her background. It's not super relevant to the overall plot, but yeah, just for the purposes of Gearbreakers, it was I wanted it almost to be what I needed at the time, I guess. Trying to solidify that part of my identity to myself. Just having her be half Korean and half white, that's enough. But it was kind of cool because I was writing her as she is, and I was considering putting more of the culture in, but I'm am I doing this to prove she's Korean, or am I doing this for the plot? And it was definitely I'm doing it to prove she's Korean, and I don't necessarily need to do that.
Yeah, that's really cool. So in your book, Gearbreakers, the capital city of Godolia, it seems an awful lot like a really bad America. In our world, people perceive they have freedoms, but sometimes we realize we see the machines that we're living under of capitalism and all these things. Was that your intent when you were writing about Godolia?
Yeah, I definitely it's very classic sci-fi setting where it's you have the nuclear fried spot of a planet, and then you have a city, a very sleek metropolis, eating up all the resources. But just theme-wise, something I put very consciously as a theme in Gearbreakers is defund the military, because it's this nation is you're the only ones left on the planet. You just keep pumping out mechas. There's no one there. I just really wanted to up the satire of it, but also this is also really dark, and please take greater American themes from that.
So at a young age you're published. How do you stay grounded? Because to me, as a layperson, it's oh my gosh, a published author at such a young age. Is there now more pressure to do more great, successful stories?
Oh my gosh, definitely motivated by the money of it. And I really have to just the check-ins that I'm doing this because I enjoy it and not because I'm trying to make a living. There's sometimes I need to step back because I do get stressed about the money of it and be no, this is really what I want to do. And I'm if the money is tight in the future, that's fine, because it's just I'm getting so much happiness from it.